What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, we've got plenty to talk about when it comes to Mercado moves that Juventus could be making. We're talking about the different options that, of course, could be coming in to maybe kick out Alex Sandro and get him moving down the road. Rabiot's mother had some things that she wanted to get off her chest. And then, of course, we got to talk about a potential Lazio player coming to Juventus. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's Monday, March 28th, 2022. And of course, I have your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news that you care about, as quickly as possible to get you in and out and about your day. Before we do that though, let's go ahead and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. And then while you're doing it, make sure you're definitely following us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that, at Bianconeri Zone, and follow myself at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Now let's just dive into the news that we have. All right, the very first news that we have up for you today is talking about Luis Alberto and Lazio and the situation going on there. This is La Lazio. I don't like the way it's all put together. Siamono.it. What's Italy? Anyway, they're going to say that Luis Alberto could leave Lazio at the end of the season due to his less than idyllic relationship with Maurizio Sarri. Juventus would be interested in the player, with Lazio wanting at least 40 million euros, which is absolutely ridiculous. They want a crazy amount of money. Everybody's just over here. I mean, we know what happens, right? We know the situation and how it pans out whenever Juventus is rumored to be around or to be interested in a player, or Juventus is rumored to be a landing spot for a player. Anybody is going to take full advantage of it to jack those prices all the way up. People out here talking about Zaniolo for 70 million euros. Now they're talking about Luis Alberto for 40. It's ridiculous, it's preposterous, and it's never going to happen. Juve are never going to pay that amount of money, especially when you look at the transfer market right now for Luis Alberto. I think he's only really valued at about 32 million euros. So why would they pay 8 over his current value overall? Never in 100 years, never in a million years do you think that Arriva Bene or Cherubini together will end up making that deal. It would be stupid. It's not going to happen. So if he's going to come to Juventus, it's going to be much cheaper than that. Obviously, I know most people looking at Lazio would rather look a little bit over to the left or look over down the way, if you will, at obviously Milinkovic-Savic and see if he could come to Juventus and what kind of deal could be get done there. But as it stands right now, that's another option to look at, and it's also a kind of a retread if we're talking about some of the topics that we talked about on the channel of different central midfielders who could come to Juventus. I think also, I want to be clear, when it comes to Juventus talking about making a splash in the summer, Luis Alberto's fine, but he's not going to do it for me. I don't know about you all as fans. You let me know in the comment section down below. But Luis Alberto would not do anything to excite me personally to the level of someone you say you're making a splash at Juventus bringing in. So I don't think that would do it. It's got to be somebody of the level of Zaniolo, of Pogba, of Milinkovic-Savic, so on and so on, Jorginho. So anyway, that'll do it for that story. Let me know your thoughts on Luis Alberto coming to Juventus. Then we've got to talk about Rabiot's mother and the nonsense that she has to say. And she's a mom. Of course, she's a mom, so she's going to say stuff to protect her baby boy, right? She says, speaking, I guess, as Rabiot's mother, an agent with Quest France, says, Adrian has nothing to prove. He plays football, and it is his passion on and off the pitch. When he is not playing, he would like to have a discreet life and not spend time justifying himself. Maybe play worth a damn. Anyway, only in Italy do they say he is not good. That's because only in Italy is he playing right now. Only in Italy is he being subpar. Only in Italy is he sucking for Juventus. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Obviously, there's been times where he's been serviceable. But that's about as good as I can say about Adrien Rabiot. Adrien Rabiot has not looked like the player that I expected him to do down the end of the season. The first 2 years with him, he has done that. He had a little bit of a boost there to wrap up the season. He has not shown any kind of ability to do that so far this season. And again, I understand it's his mom and agent. You're gonna have to even if she was just his agent, she's gonna have to hype up her guy because she's gonna try to make him more money. especially when he goes and transfers somewhere else, or Juventus finally cut the cord. He's getting overpaid as it is right now. But again, it's a mom. What do you expect somebody's mom to say, right? So, whatever. I roll my eyes at it and I keep moving on. Well, if he is, if he is so good and he is a good player, and only in Italy they say that, why does he not have a plethora of teams lining up for his services to come over from Juventus to England or wherever have you? We know that Manchester United and stuff have been rumored out there, but I wonder how serious or any of them have any kind of substance there. So we'll see if Rabiot ends up being another Ramsey this summer when we try to get him out. Next up, let's talk about this. Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting saying that the club and Chiellini will meet at the end of the season. There is a 1-year option the club could use. However, the club is oriented towards not using the option and moving on and having his career at Juventus being finished, as well as it seems that his international days are numbered as well. As it stands right now, me personally, I think the best thing maybe for Chiellini is to kind of just move on. What else does he have to prove? What else does he have to really do right now in his career that can really have anything of substance? That's the one place where I'm sitting at, because you could come back and maybe you could try to win a Scudetto next season, but you've already won plenty of those, right? Maybe you're just wanting to move it up and maybe try to get assist with getting another star there down the line. Maybe that would be it. But otherwise, the only things you haven't completed was obviously the World Cup and or Champions League. And I don't see Champions League being attainable in the short run, to be honest. I don't see us getting past the round of 16. Until I see it happen, I ain't going to believe in it. That's what I'm going to say for now on. But at the same time, we've talked about here on the channel plenty about seeing that Chiellini, maybe his best option is to wrap it up and move upstairs. But would he actually move upstairs? Would he move into a management role? That is yet to be seen. And reports seem to say the opposite. So Corriere dello Sport also came in talking about Chiellini and his future, not only with Juventus, but the national team, saying that the match against Turkey will be Chiellini's penultimate match in the Azzurri shirt. I'm glad for some reason he's going to go play in a match that nobody cares about. When I say I'm glad, I was sarcasm. He's going to go waste his time playing in a match that nobody cares about and doesn't matter because Italy have failed to qualify for the World Cup. Anyway, goes on to say he will finish in June in the match against Argentina, and after Juventus, he wants to play a year in the MLS. Now, this is something that I'm not going to say it shocks me or surprises me, because it doesn't, but it does more surprise me because, why? Why go play in the MLS? And I'm saying this as an American. And as an American, I would love to, I'd love to be able to go watch him in a game here locally. I would love to be able to go watch Chiellini play. But what is he doing? Why would you go to the MLS to play? What are you proving? What are you doing? Are you just trying to do it? Say, go there for a year, go to America, have like a little vacation in America. The only way that makes sense to me is if maybe he's going to play for, either New York or LA, so you can go live the New York or LA lifestyle. Maybe that's something that he wants to do for a year. Otherwise, we can go to Inter Miami. Miami's a good life. Let's not kid ourselves. It'd be a good life to live in Miami. But at the same time, are those the places that you really want to go? Is that what you want to do? I'd be interested to follow exactly what he does if he decides to go. I'm sure he'll have plenty of suitors there in the MLS if he wants to come play. But still, at the same time, why? To me, you've spent so much time into it, and of course, playing in the MLS is not going to do anything to hinder his history at Juventus, right? But at the same time, it's just like, why tack that on there at the end? What's the point of it, All right, let's continue on. Then we got to talk about Rovella, and this is Di Marzio, who is saying that Juve had tried to bring Rovella to Turin to strengthen their midfield during the January market, but Genoa blocked the deal because they did not want to lose an important player. And so everything has been postponed to the summer. So this is basically Di Marzio just kind of confirming that, it looks like Rovella will be coming back to Juventus and will maybe be a piece of the future in the summer mercado. One of the things I wonder is, we've obviously the big news story out there has been are we gonna actually play? Are we actually gonna play young players? And Rovella's a little bit different than those because he has some experience. It's not playing Fagioli, a youth product of Juventus's to try to actually play him. So Rovella's a little bit different. But will he actually get some playing time under Allegri? And maybe is this going to be Juventus's way of trying to like understand and be like, you know what, we have to do our part to get young Italians playing time, and so that way we can build for the future for the Italian national team, which is important. To me, it is important. I know a lot of Italians have pride there when it comes to that, but also to me, I feel like when Juve do well, and when Juve have good Italians, they play well, they succeed, they they win Scudetti, sorry, and then also the Italian national team goes on to succeed as well. I think it's hand in hand, and I think it's important that you invest in that young Italian talent. So we'll see what happens there. I'm doing a little bit of a heel turn when it comes to my belief before, where it was just like I just use just because I'm so used to them. So it's almost indoctrinated. Anyway, it's indoctrinated into me when it comes to just you being used to the way Juve do things, and just getting experienced talent and buying that from other people and other clubs rather than going out and developing it for themselves. Very few marquee deals out there, right? Anyway, we'll see what happens there, but it looks like Rovella will end up staying with or coming back to the club in the summer. There's some rumors out there, Roma may be interested or whatever have you, so we'll see. Anyway, Tuttosport also has a story talking about the left back and the options with the left back position. Who will be moving on? Who will be moving on is Alex Sandro. Let's not kid ourselves. But who could come in to fill a role once Juve are able to push Alex Sandro out of here? They're saying that the names for Sandro's replacement are Emerson, of course, of Chelsea, Emerson Palmieri, which, whatever. Oliviera of Getafe, Lodi of Atletico, Grimaldo of Benfica, Wijndal of AZ, and Bellanova, who is at Cagliari on loan from Bordeaux. We've talked about a lot of these players over the last few weeks, so I'm not going to dive too much into it. You can go back and watch those videos if you feel so inclined. Renan Lodi is a player who's looked pretty decent in the matches since he's been rumored with Juventus. I've kept an eye on him. But, of course, the woman we really had to talk, obviously, Oliviera, too, is one that's been hyped up more recently. But then Emerson Palmieri is one that it is what it is. I don't know. It's just he keeps resurfacing, keeps gaining traction. But I guess to me, I view it at some point as like, if we're gonna go after Chelsea players, how many players are we gonna go after? Are we just gonna try to get their whole team? Are we going after Palmieri? Are we going after Jorginho? Are we going after Rudiger? How many players from Chelsea do you really think you're going to go out there and you're going to get Pulisic as well? Anyway, but at the same time, also, I just don't think I don't think Emerson Palmieri is a good option or a smart option for Juventus to get. Maybe he could be better than Alex Sandro, but what does that mean long term for Juventus and the prospect of at that position? We'll see what happens. It's going to continue to develop, but I haven't really been super high on the growing kind of I guess this, I don't want to say a grassroots movement, but this movement for Emerson Palmieri to Juventus, to be honest. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Do you think, do you like the idea of Palmieri coming to Juventus, or would you rather look at somebody else, maybe a younger option there, a younger, more talented option, maybe, whether it's Italian or not? Anyway, that'll do. I think the only other news story that really came out that we didn't have a graphic for, to be honest, was, I think just Fabrizio Romano, I believe it was him, just kind of confirming the Dybala numbers when it came to what he was offered, the $8 million or whatever, so money, and then basically just saying that Juventus looked back at it and was like, we can't pay this amount of money to have an injured player out there all the time, right? So that was really the only other story out there. Nothing really of substance or interest. And I'm sure all of you are as tired as I am of talking and hearing about the Dybala situation. Let's put it to rest. Let's bury it. Let's cover it with dirt and move on, even though, of course, he'll still be playing until the season's over. But anyway, guys, that'll do it for today. That's all the news that we have for you. Obviously, about Juventus, all the things that are happening and going on there. We'll see what happens when it comes to the transfer market moves, who they'll get, who they'll push out. Will Rabiot, will Alex Sandro be out of here? And will we look at it, the likes of Emerson Palmieri or whoever coming in? And then Chiellini's future, what does it hold? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, as I said earlier, if you could, please hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Follow us on our social media at bianconerizone, and if you feel so inclined, please follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter as well. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.